Labour's prison release scheme, the full story. Before we dive in, if you value straight-talking political analysis without the spin, hit that subscribe button. You will want to stay informed on what's really happening in Westminster. Right then, let's talk about something that sent shockwaves through Britain's justice system, something the government hoped you wouldn't scrutinize too carefully. Labour MPs have just voted through legislation that will see thousands of serious offenders released early from prison. And when I say serious, I mean rapists, pedophiles, and violent criminals. This isn't hyperbole. This is what actually happened in the Commons, and the implications are staggering. The vote came down like a guillotine. Labour pressed ahead with what they are calling an early progression scheme that will allow prisoners to walk free after serving as little as a third of their sentence. 1/3. Let that sink in for a moment. Someone convicted of a serious crime, sentenced by a judge who weighed the evidence and determined appropriate punishment, will now serve roughly a year for every 3 years imposed. The judicial system's careful calibration of justice essentially torn up. Keir Badenoch didn't mince words. The Conservative leader accused Sir Keir Starmer of lacking the backbone to fix Britain's prisons, suggesting instead that Labour chose the path of least resistance by quietly releasing offenders onto our streets. It's a damning assessment, but is it unfair? When you examine what Labour MPs actually voted for, the picture becomes rather disturbing. The opposition tabled amendments that would have protected the public from the worst consequences of this legislation. One Conservative amendment specifically sought to exclude rapists, pedophiles, those convicted of assault by penetration, grievous bodily harm, stalking, and sexual offences against children from early release. Common sense, you might think. Basic protection for the most vulnerable in society. Labour MPs rejected it. The vote wasn't even close, defeated by 125 votes. They had the numbers, they had the opportunity to draw a line in the sand, and they chose not to. Shadow Justice Minister Keir Mullen made a point that should resonate with anyone who's ever considered what justice actually means. He stated he's never met a victim of serious violent or sexual crime who thinks the present system adequately punishes offenders. Never met one who believes we should be releasing these people earlier. Yet that's precisely what this bill accomplishes. The disconnect between victims' experiences and political decision-making has rarely been more stark. Here's where it gets particularly troubling. This isn't just about future sentencing. The legislation applies retrospectively. Thousands of offenders already serving time behind bars will benefit from lighter sentences, despite having already been sentenced under the existing framework. Prisoners who committed rape, sexual assault, burglary, stalking, domestic abuse, even death by dangerous driving, will serve less time than their original sentences prescribed. The rules change mid-game, and not in favor of public safety. The numbers are genuinely shocking. Analysis reveals that over 2,000 child sex offenders will be released early under these provisions. Let me break that down for you. Last year alone, 2,254 offenders were imprisoned for child sex crimes. Under Labour's new scheme, a staggering 82% of those convicted of offences against children could receive lighter sentences. We're talking about 167 individuals.